Okay. So when you're in a class, what isn't great is you can be engaging with your dog or having a conversation with your dog. It's really fun and exciting. And then the coach has to come talk to you, and then what happens, like, you just leave the conversation with your dog. So that's called an accidental timeout. You're gonna lose arousal with your dog and focus with your dog. So what Garrett does in her facility is they do table trading, and if the dog doesn't have table trading down, then they use a crate, and if they don't have a crate, then Linda will just have her students hold the dog by the collar. That way, nobody's rehearsing leaving, the dogs aren't getting reinforcement for sniffing around, but their brains can shut off for a minute and they don't have to think about anything, and you can talk to the coach. So if you need to fall back on that for today, since we don't have crates to close them up in, then yeah, just do a collar grab, hold on to them, you know, and you can leave the conversation with your dog that way and talk to the coach. And with you two, when you guys are coaching, teach your students to do that if you don't have a crate. So we're gonna have to go over the 4 quadrants really quick. So if my marker will work. Okay. The 4 quadrants have another name, but that's not what people usually call them. They usually just refer to them as the 4 quadrants. So okay. So if you break down the word reinforcement and punishment, so we highlight a lot with punishment, we always want to avoid that word. The word punishment doesn't actually mean anything terrible by itself. So all reinforcement means is we're growing a behavior, we're putting value into a behavior. So if you think of it like your dog, you're trying to teach your dog to bark on cue, that's putting value into the bark, we want the dog to bark. Punishment just means to diminish. The word punishment by itself just means to diminish a behavior. So if your dog is barking at the front door, your goal is to diminish that barking at the front door. So that would mean, it would mean punishment, right? Where it goes into it a little bit more is positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, and negative punishment. So the first game that we're gonna go today with is gonna be a negative punishment game. So positive reinforcement, it just means you're adding something to build a behavior. So if you want your dog to bark, you're paying them a cookie to bark. You're giving them something that puts value in that cookie to bark. Negative reinforcement, so I think I've told everybody about that Malinois. So they wanted to build the behavior of him biting. And so what they did, since the dog wouldn't bite, is they would attack the dog, add pain, and then when the dog bit, they would remove the pain to build the behavior. So that's negative reinforcement. Positive punishment is they're trying to diminish a behavior like barking, and so you give a pop on the collar. And then negative punishment is like when a little kid is asking for a piece of candy and they're demanding it from you, and you just withhold that piece of candy. You take that piece of candy away until they say please. So that's the first game that we're gonna do today. It's the first layer of It's Your Choice. It's your choice. You start it as like a party trick, but then it grows into things like reactivity, counter surfing, getting into things that you don't want them to do, the over arousal that Anna's experiencing right now. It grows into everything, but we're going to start with the party trick version of the game. And so something with Maggie going from luring to shaping. So the reason why, I don't think I need to board for this one. The reason why I switched from luring to shaping is because of a choice point system. So there was a professor by the name of Wolfram Schultz. He's, I think, a neuroprofessor at Cambridge University. They did a study on monkeys for dopamine release, and they presented a choice point to the monkeys. The monkeys made a decision, and once the decision was made, they got a dopamine spike. So when you have, and there's also something called prediction error system in the brain. We're not going to go into that one today, or else I won't have time to go over everything. But there's 2 factors that go into this. And so when you do a lure, there's no choice point being given to the dog, and so you're not getting the same dopamine spike. So if you think about it as like drug people that use drugs, they're using drugs to get that hit of dopamine, and that just makes them feel awesome afterwards. Well, when you lure the dog every single time over and over and over again, you're losing, they studied this on dogs, the dopamine spike stopped happening because you're not triggering the prediction error system in the dog's brain. And so if you want them to be addicted to training with you and you want them to naturally engage with you so you don't have to cue a look at me, that's an artificial way to get attention from a dog. And so I don't teach look at me for family dogs. I actually only teach it in bite work specifically so that I can have him switch targets from decoys to handler. But as far as family dog goes, we want that engagement to be natural. We don't want to cue it and force it. And so one of the ways that works against you for that is if you're luring your dog all the time, you're not making them addicted to your training. You're not manipulating that dopamine system as well as you could be. And so It's Your Choice game is the introduction to a choice point system. So essentially we're giving the dog autonomy, and so they learn in that game that their decisions control their environment. And so we're not going to control the dog, we're just going to control the resource. And so, let's see, I can either do Maggie or Ever first, whichever one wants to go up first. You want to go with Ever? Okay. So this will play a really big part in reactivity, but we can't jump to university level stuff until we get to kindergarten. That was a good thing. See right there, she went to go for the cookies right away. So this was a street dog, as you guys know. So her survival was heavily dependent on her scavenging and taking whatever she can find. So her It's Your Choice is going to be really, really hard. So, please for her. Yes. So if you want, Alex, you can do it. But there are 3 stages to the It's Your Choice game. So what I see a lot of people do, and if you want, do it wrong first, is what?
How do I do it wrong?
I'll show you. I'll do one wrong first. There you go. Okay. So what I see about, my mom just did this last night. We were trying to teach her It's Your Choice with her, and this is what she did. She opened her hand and she's like, "Oh, the dog's right," and she stuffed a cookie in her face. Okay, that's not the stages. So what you do is you open it up. We wait for a decision from the dog at this stage. So she's choosing to still sit. That's really good. She brought her nose in to help facilitate us giving her the cookie. We don't need help giving her the cookie, do we? So, she's deciding which. Oh, see, that put the cookie back. So you guys play video games. Consider drawing the cookie up here as like a save point. Okay, so you stop at your save point right here and you wait for a decision. Cook. So she didn't lean in that time. Cook. And so once she stops leaning in, you say your word, cook, and you give her a cookie. So cook is a new thing that Garrett started. It's a permission word versus the YES formal marker. I have adopted it and it's great. I was really not excited about it, but I understand. Oh, good girl, cook. So that right there was an accidental It's Your Choice. I dropped it on the floor, she didn't go for it, so I gave it to her right away. But, so I'm expecting Maggie to maul and molest her hand. And so this one will probably be a lot of fun with her. Cook. There we go. So you go ahead and do that. So you can advance the game to playing it on the floor with tenting. The thing with It's Your Choice is it becomes an automatic leave it. So once you play this game enough, I believe Danielle has got a picture of Sora with a bag of milk bone that's just been sitting open in her house for a month, and he doesn't touch it because he's not earned it yet. So you never have to be around your dog and hover over them and be like, leave it, leave it, leave it. You're just building in an automatic leave it at all times. So if I leave the kitchen open with her, I had fresh cooked some gizzard and I left the kitchen gate open. We're using management while she's learning nice. And so she'll just go in and she'll just she inhaled the whole tray of gizzard. She ate the whole thing. Holy cow, I thought she was gonna have diarrhea, but I guess she's got a stomach of steel. We didn't get diarrhea. But yeah, so since I wasn't there to, go no, leave it, she took the whole thing. So the problem with leave it is you have to make the decision for the dog every single time. But if you teach them it's your choice, they can make the decision without you there. So you can forget your chicken out on the counter and go out to dinner with friends and your dog's not gonna take it because you're not there to work for it. So that's the end goal. It's gonna be really hard with her because she's, who knows how long, been on the street, and she had reinforced taking food whenever she could just to survive. So we're gonna be super patient with her with counter surfing for sure. So the next, I think you're advancing her just a little bit too fast. So what you want to do is if you play the it's your choice game when she's just in a sit, she's going to think that it means to sit. So you want to make sure that you're playing it's your choice in all 3 positions. So now he's doing it in stand, and so maybe do a couple of reps of that and then have her play it in a down. But I don't want you to cue the down. So that's not where it was. You want them to offer the down. See, she just took it from there. That's because it's your choice isn't advanced yet. So she just stole that cookie from the floor. So if they go to steal a cookie on the floor, cover it with your foot or your hand as quick as you can. So. Okay. Yeah. So if you want, go ahead. Yeah, there you go. You can give her the whole 6 feet of leash if you want, just so that she's got more room to work with you. And so Anna, yeah, if you want to do that too.
I know you're still up, but you're not on your feet.
It's like I can't hear you. I'm excited. So just wait for him to make a decision to refocus on you, because that'll be an it's your choice moment.
Oh, I'm waiting.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want, you can be like really exciting and explosive and do a jackpot voice and just give him a handful of cookies because that's so hard for him. And then I won't look at him because I'm not helping. So I'm gonna talk to you without looking at you. So if she goes for it, just put the cookie straight back into your hand and close it because that helps create clarity. So straight back down. Nice. And see if you can get her into a stand next. And if you want, honey, go ahead and do it's your choice with like trying to bounce cookies off of her and doing it on the floor if you're not leaving hot zone. Oh, she's in it down, so you can do that one. The stand's the hardest to get.
It was a cook, like cooking, preparing food.
Cookie.
Cook. Oh,
Short for cookie.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Garrett's got so many cues. She's just like, this is. I mean, I'm out of ideas with a lot of my cues too. So, but I'm not sure. I don't know. She hasn't said. So. Okay, and so see now if you can get her into a stand. You might want to have her go into the climb and then get it's your choice. Play with how high the it's your choice is to see if you can get a stand out of her on that. Or right there, she was in the stand.
Alright. See if I can do this. And not leave chicken crumbs everywhere.
We've had a vacuum anyway, so it's not worries.
Do it. No, stand. No, you're not gonna argue. Like, I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
So we can wait and see if she stands on her own, maybe. She's offering a sit, which is great. She's offering. What else can we do? What else could it be? Oh, so close. You can try getting motion with her. Oh, I almost just let it. So if you want, you can ask for a hand target and see if that gets her up, and then play with your choice. So, it's my turn away. she's in a stand, see if you can get her attention. Try to feed her, yeah, we gotta beat that sit.
Okay, so it's.
Maybe just pay her for the stand at first, just to tell her, like, I want you standing.
Right. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can do that. Thank you.
Nice. I saw that, I wish that was on camera. Gosh, this is it. Oh, she's offering different positions though, so that's great.
I know she's thinking about it. That was my fault. Operator error. We'll do that.
So I wonder, so the way to troubleshoot it is if you have a couch, you can get in different positions with the dog, and that will encourage them to stand or down and stuff, but this just isn't tall enough to use. So, but yeah, if you want, you can try to have her in a sit and then do, I wonder if I could do it. So if you can't get that hand target like catch, you can just both my teeth just smack them together. Is your gums okay? Yeah, I bet that hurt. You had to shake that off. Hey, Zoe, buddy. Zoe. Okay, so let me see. But yeah, if you can't catch it, then just put it directly in your hands as management. So okay, here you go. Yes. Okay, so now she's in a stand. Oh, and we dropped it. We dropped it. Okay. Oh, put it down. Good. Oh. So, bring it down. Can you come up here? Or if you can have target up high. Can you do that? Was it too soon? It might be too soon. Yes, good girl. Stay down. I'm just gonna pay her in the stand really quick. Get some value for that really fast. And then I gotta reload. Reload. Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, I said yes, so I have to pay. Darn it. Yes. I'm gonna try to pay her for the stand right there. Good. 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 Search. Get a reset and then yes. Good. Click. Click. And search. Okay, now try doing it stand.
Okay. Good.
Okay. How's Anna doing?
I'm just trying to get some engagement from him at all.
Okay. Hand targets are really good for that. If you need to tug and be exciting, then you want tug right now. Okay.
Good. Oh.
If you want to just do search cues across the floor and just have him chase it and run with him, that should help too.
Happened so fast. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Good. Good.
And then honestly, if he's just plain over-faced right now, there's two options you could do. You could walk him out into that open area until he can refocus, and then try bringing him back in. And just have that be what the session is about today. Because like, if there's dogs that are going into an agility class and they're over-faced and they can't focus, then what they do is they just focus on that dog being okay to work in that environment before they even start agility class. So they bring the dog to agility class, but they don't even play agility. They just take baby steps on, oh, nice.
Good girl.
Beautiful, there we go. Beautiful.
Good girl.
I think you might be getting him back in. Beautiful. Yeah, if this session just needs to be about getting engagement with him, you can totally just break that off and just catch up with this. You know most of this stuff anyway.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do, because yeah, he's absolutely.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna have to do that with Trico for like 6 sessions and just not be able to train anything and just get him used to just being around the environment.
Yeah. He just doesn't have any chill.
Everything's just super exciting.
Chill.
Okay, and then we'll go on to the next one. So let's have everybody take a breather. If your dog will tug with you, do a quick little like 60-second balance break, and then have them back up on the climb and put your hand on their collar and let their brains shut off.
Say balance break, that's just engaging, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so you're getting their arousal up, you're releasing stress and tension, you're just doing a quick game of tug for like, it's almost as quick as you would give a cookie. Like it's super short, just quick tug, and then you add them and then put them back on the climb. Okay, so this one is also in everything that you do, including in humans, everything. This is just psychology. So there's something in the brain called response cost. And so that's gonna affect you with obedience and loose leash walking. And that's where we're gonna learn about it first, but it's also gonna pop into other things. So like if you're doing competitive obedience, they want your dog at a certain amount of feet, switching to 3 position changes. And what they're testing for is if the dog creeps forward each time you do a position change, you're gonna get dog points for that. There's 2 reasons why the dog is doing that. One of them is because of response cost. They want to be as close to the reinforcement as possible. If you've got the cookies, they're going to creep towards you.
Right.
And so that's going to pop up with leash walking with them not walking at your side. So what that means, response cost, the best metaphor I heard was Susan Garrett's. So she says, imagine you're in a 3-story house and your water source is on the basement floor. And so you've got the heater on, you've got carpeted floors, you're really thirsty when you're in bed one night, so you walk down and fill up a glass of water. So let's change that. So the next time you have no heat on, your house is freezing, and you've got, hardwood floors, you don't have your slippers, and so, you don't want your feet to be cold, and so you might go and get that glass of water, or you might not, because the response cost is too high. You don't want it, it's too unpleasant to go and get that. Now, if your only water source was a drive to the gas station, you're just gonna go thirsty. Like, we're not gonna drive to the gas station. The response cost is too high.
Yeah.
So,
No way I would do that.
no, me neither. So, response cost isn't everything that you do. It's gonna pop up when your dog keeps trying to come closer to you to get cookies. That's all that means. And so there's ways around it, and we'll go over that a different day. We're gonna talk about it with leash walking. So if you're doing shaping with leash walking instead of a lure, then what happens is if you're holding your cookies on this side, your dog is going to want to be as close to the cookies as possible because that's the lowest response cost, right? And so they're going to start swinging out, coming out here to meet you to be closer to that. And so what we're going to do is every single time you're going to take 1 cookie at a time. So in America, 1 cookie is 1 less than 2. Okay, so 1 cookie in your hand, because if you have 2 cookies in your hand and you only give your dog 1, then that's punishment, right? It's like, okay, I have $100 in my hand, but I'm only gonna give you 1, and you're taking it away. So you do 1 cookie at a time. There are some times where I break that rule with myself, and I end up noticing that it's affecting my dog's behavior, and so it's just not worth it. Try to always just do 1 cookie so that you're not doing that punishment. So you grab 1 cookie from your cookie hand, you bring it over, and you touch the hip first, and then feed. Because the dog will learn, there's no reason to come out up in front right here, because the cookie's always gonna hit the hip before I can have it. And so your hip is gonna be the Pez dispenser. So if, since you're so tall, Anna, if Nemo doesn't quite touch your hip, you can touch your knee and feed. So you could do hip, knee, cookie, and then, I don't know if you're that tall with Maggie, she's pretty short too.
It's knee high for me.
It is knee high, okay, then it's hip, knee, cookie. And so you have to have your dog predict that it's gonna be right here while you're walking, okay? But that's not gonna be where you start with leash walking. So where we start with leash walking is we're gonna do stationary position. Anna's already passed this, so we can do different with you. This is gonna be your platform, but we're not gonna put it down just yet. And then if you want this one, you can. And Anna, if you want, you could just study it for like how you're gonna teach it to people.
Yes.
So, and we'll bring the high value. Okay,
I have some in my pocket.
you have both? Okay. So, Steve, when you're doing shaping instead of luring, what you're gonna do is you're gonna reset her away from the target with a lower value. And then when she gets that cookie and comes back in, you're gonna switch to high value for her putting her paws up. So the cookie over there is resetting her so that she can do a rip of coming back in and putting her paws up. So I'll have Alex show this one. Let me make sure I'm recording on the other one. Yep, okay, cool. Alright, so all you're doing at first is putting value in her, putting her paws on this. This is going to give you competitive obedience later. So I can even loan you one of those for the week until you can buy one. They're super cheap, they're just feed pans.
Okay.
So,
I've got things to go get one.
okay.
Today.
So remember to get her off. Yeah, there you go. With the cookie toss.
Oh, I went the wrong direction.
Good. So I don't know if she'll take carrots. Can I ask you if you'll take a carrot? Maybe. Maybe? What do you think? Is it poison? It's poison. That's what Trico says too. Carrots are poison.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have apples?
I do. Sit.
Search. Okay. So what the goal is going to be is to have Maggie target that with her front paws, and then Alex, will you now ask Ever to sit?
I see.
Okay. And so in this one, we're not asking the dog to do anything. We're going to have Alex move into. I'll hold the leash for you. We're going to have Alex move into her reinforcement zone, because this is just stage one for the dog. They don't need to think or anything. We just want them to sit still and then get fed in the future heel position. Well, remember, she's gonna sit, because the sit holds her still. Oh, she didn't get released.
Thanks. What was this doing? Thank you.
That's better. Oh, that's better. Good girl. So ask her to sit from away.
I see.
There you go. Nice. So Alex is gonna move into her heel. And then pick her, and then release with a cookie toss.
Search.
So, when you're doing shaping, you don't stay. It's built in to the behavior. Yeah.
I got you.
So you want to release her with the search cue before she self-releases.
Yeah.
If she's failing,
I see.
pay her for maintaining before she fails. So if you ask her to sit and she's about to break a sit, pay her a few for sitting, and then release her before she releases.
Oh, she's trying to do forearm.
Oh,
And she just did, actually.
well, we're not shaping that right now, so.
Alright. There, good.
And then release her before she releases. Nice. Well, let's move her a little bit farther away. Here, you go into this side of the room, and you work on that over there. And then I'm gonna move that perch, even though, let's see, I'll try to, oh, yes, nice, good job. Oh, and then Jennifer, we got a call. Yes.
Good girl. A little more.
And then give her a cookie toss to reset.
Okay.
I know, it's so many mechanics.
So many mechanics, so many toys.
And then maybe bring your body close to it. Because if you're working solo, that'll probably be easier. Right there.
Yes.
Nice.
Good
Oh,
girl.
so smart.
Good
So
girl.
smart.
Okay.
And then search. See, she stayed without, that was awesome.
I see.
She's so smart. Holy cow.
Yes, good girl. Good girl.
Oh my gosh, she's like the easiest dog.
Yes,
Nice.
good. Good, yes.
That's good.
Okay, let's see if she automatically offers it yet. If she's,
Let's get you untangled. Come here. Oh, you poor girl. I know. It's all tangled. There we go.
we're gonna ask her if there's enough value in that yet. So just walk by it, see if she, oh, she thinks that she's doing leash walk. Oh, she's so good.
Oops.
What's the value? Is it in jumping? Is it in visiting friends?
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Good. Cool.
Okay, so I guess do a couple more reps of her getting on there, and then see if you can ask her to sit and move into
Yes.
her heel position.
Keep one more. Good.
Beautiful.
Good.
You get bonuses because I can't hold them all in my hand.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Alright, is Limo good for you to move into his deal?
Oh, I'll give that to you. You got one.
I'm sure he's got this one, but.
Yeah. But it's good to learn in distractions.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the real skill he's learning. Yes, good boy.
Nice! Okay, and then see if you can ask her to sit now.
Yes.
Oh, we lost pause.
Oh, yes. You're like, wait, was it on? Okay, search.
That was so cute. Oh.
You tried so hard.
Right here.
Come on, we'll get out to you. You're like, chicken better than apples. That's the idea, Missy. Can you get your
Steve, let me know if you need more treat.
Yes.
I think I got just enough for this. Just enough, probably no more. Okay, what are we doing?
Beautiful,
Yes,
there it is.
good.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
Search.
Wow.
It's okay, you had it right though.
Yeah.
She just didn't see it. So if you get your mechanics right, she'll eventually get it right. I'm not worried about her getting it right. So,
Yes.
oh,
Oh,
good
it's,
catch.
sick.
That was so good, those feet.
What is it?
I can see the like confusing the low and high value. Search. Come on, human vacuum.
Let me vacuum cleaner up for a second.
Good girl. Alright. Okay, you ready?
Let's see if we can ask her for a sit. Oh, she's getting so tired. Us is getting so tired.
Yeah, lots going on. I can see the value in having one treat per hand. I can totally see what's going on now.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. Let's see if we can. No, we gotta pause off. So don't feed that. Try moving around and trying again and see if.
Okay. Yes.
Beautiful, good girl. That's hard. Oh, we gotta move our back feet without our front feet.
Search. Yeah, that was a trick. It's not good.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's very cute.
Almost. You're almost done. Almost.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Yes.
Beautiful. Oh, so close!
I'm gonna give that to you just because.
So close. This poor girl. If you want, tug with her really quick.
Yeah.
So, give her a balance break. Nice. Yeah, good job. Good job. All right, everybody out.
Good.
And then hop around.
Yes.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy. All right, honey, you can bring back in Ever.
Okay, down. Yes. Oh, what did I say? Come on. I know, you're so cute.
All right, honey, let's have you bring in Ever. We've only got enough time for like one more quick thing.
Good boy. Good boy.
Okay.
So we're gonna put this one away. So have you practice that one at home and just only reward when her back feet come in. And if she doesn't, and she gets it wrong, then do what's called screw up cookie. That's not rewarding her for being wrong. So you're gonna ask her to do something that she knows, like a hand target, and something she will get right.
Like a read.
Yeah, well, you're gonna pay her for anything that she will succeed at, so that the cortisol doesn't.
To break up
Yeah.
Yeah, I got what
And
you're
maybe even tug with her, and then have her come back up here and see if we can get that sit with the paws up. So, okay, and then as soon as you're ready, Anna, go ahead and hot zone him. I'm gonna use Ever for this one.
Your water's all the way over there.
So, once you get to them to the point where they can hold a sit and you can come into their reinforcement zone, the next step towards loose leash walking and obedience foundations is not actually teaching them how to heel moving forward with you. You have a quick stop first. So, I can have you easy here.
That rolled way better than I thought it would, sorry. I thought for sure that was not gonna work.
Ever break. That's yours, yeah. I know, that was exciting, but you're so. Okay. So Garrett teaches this one. She got it from, oh gosh, I forget who taught her that. Somebody else taught Garrett this one. But you actually teach them how to loose leash walk, walking backwards first in a circle. And so, Sissy, so what you do is you actually walk them on the inside of as large of a circle as you can. The reason why you're doing it on the inside is because it keeps the dog straight so that they're less likely to be wrong and they're learning to move with you because a heel is just a moving, it's like a moving stay behavior.
Right.
And so we're introducing to the dog that this is a stay, but it's in motion.
Excuse me.
Actually, I'm gonna jackpot you for that. You chose not to take that off the floor. I am so proud of you. Okay, and then you gotta do it on both sides. So you're gonna put the dog on the inside lane, on your left and right hip. This is actually the stage that she's at. So make sure that you're touching the hip and feeding. And cook means you can take that cookie. So I don't really have a whole lot of space to do wide turns in here. And then as a finishing move, if you get this far this week, what you'll do to get them a step towards loose leash walking is you'll finish by switching out in front like that. But see, I got her bum to swing out. That means it's too soon. And so we're not going to do that one just yet. So yeah, I think you're pretty much done. Search. So go ahead and we'll do one dog at a time. Or actually, I think you guys have enough space if you guys just do your half and your half over there. And then Alex, if you want to take Evie out there so they have enough room between dogs. Or you could just go. I did teach you back when you taught me all this. Oh.
All done.
I'm terrible for Well then with you, since he's struggling so much, I won't push him too hard. But you could start doing it's your choice, where you're standing with him at your side, and I want you to drop a pussy really far off to the side, and that's going to be your first distraction. That's going to get you up to this. So yeah, just have him right here, drop a pussy over here. If he fails, stomp on it. And then if he
So
doesn't,
over here, if he's here,
yeah, you want it to do as far away as you can to help him succeed. If he stays in position, huge party, and you know, but start there because that's going to help with all of that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So you're feeding her on the outside lane.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was both. I thought.
You'll switch hips when you do it, so you want to just keep her on the inside hip of the circle.
Well, in that case, keep her there, but we'll just switch directions. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Honestly, your back is going to do this. So I think you're going to blow through this one.
Yes.
I'm surprised she took focus right
Good.
Try to stick it to your seam, because we're going just a little bit up front here, and that sounds like a tiny nuance, but she's going to end up swinging out in front of you.
Okay.
So, be seen on your seam. There you go, that's perfect. So yeah, that's a really easy phrase Garrett says to remember, is be seen on your seam.
Cook.
Beautiful.
There we go.
And fun fact, this is actually also a reactivity maneuver later.
switch and see if you live with apples. Yes. Oh, not quite as tasty. Oh. Thank you. Good. This is good.
Yeah, the more value you put in them walking backwards with you, the better for when you're trying to avoid a trigger and you know, like let's say you've got a scooter coming right at you or a dog coming right at you, you can get them to refocus on you. And because you know your dog's gonna fail, there's no reason to try to train that if you're not gonna succeed. So you wanna escape that situation. The other thing is too, if you've got somebody out with an off-leash dog, if you want, she's probably good, you can bench her. If you've got somebody with an off-leash dog coming at you, and you know there's a lot of people that do that because oh their dog is friendly. Well, it's like okay, if your dog's gonna react to that, then like if you move forward and you're like no my dog's not friendly, you're still engaging with that person when you're like no my dog's not friendly. But if you're backing away feeding your dog and you're like no my dog's not friendly, that's helping give that person the signal that, you know, you're not trying to engage with them, you're trying to get away.
Right.
So, that's a really good, and if you guys were too distracted with that one, we'll have the replay. But, I would say that that's probably all we're gonna get done for right now for our hour.
Okay. That was plenty good, I think.
I was hoping to
A
go
lot of
through.
information.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I actually wanted to give you the backup, but I don't think we made it to that one just yet, but we can always do that one.
Yeah, the tug onto the thing. Oh,
yeah.
guess what?
What?
So I got back on homeschool the dog.
Yeah.
I was literally one module away from
You had to rebuy it again because of one game.
Well, I didn't know I was like close to the end. I thought I was like halfway, but no, I was like pretty much done.
Oh my gosh.
But I can still do that Wag Nation, so.
Oh, Wag
If I didn't
Nation.
get it again, I couldn't have done Wag Nation.
Wag Nation, I think, is going to give you all your foundations for service dog skills. Honestly, they have so many foundation skills in there, like, it's amazing.
But
Okay.
yeah, I was like one module away from the bonus retrieve.
You just barely didn't get to the retrieve.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's the
So
big,
now
that's the
I'm
big one.
doing the retrieve.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay.
Good.
I mean, I was already doing the stuff you told me. Now I'm doing the official program.
Yeah. Alright, so if you want, go ahead and hot zone them, let their brain shut off for a minute. So, I'm gonna give a little bit of homework for this week. So, Steve, I want you to do, if you can, hand targets once a day. If you can, just do 5 of the drop ones. 5 on this hand, 5 on that one.
Okay.
So be ambidextrous. It's important later. And so if you just do that once a day, every single day, it's gonna build into her retrieve later. So if she's got really strong hand targeting and she can go to both sides, that's gonna make retrieve just, you're gonna fly through it. And so you're already past that, you're already working on the retrieve program, so I'm not giving you homework on that. Opposition reflex, anything that you guys can do this week to build opposition reflex. I linked that video in the group with just a basic collar grab one. And then, do you remember the one that I showed you where you hold her back, you throw a cookie out, and then when she pulls, you release her?
Mm-hmm.
So with her restrained recall, we have to, with both these dogs, we have to build her being comfortable with opposition reflex before we bring in restrained recall. And that's also gonna be something that we use in the retrieve. And so we really want opposition reflex. So if anything that she likes, hold her back just barely and then release her to it this week. So if you're gonna play Frisbee, hold her back, then throw it and release.
Okay.
So any value you can get. And then anywhere that you guys can, since we're gonna be building table trading, have your dog chill in a bed as a hot zone this week. If you're just watching TV, just pay her. It's what?
That's
Chill.
No, that's her. That's her home. If I'm at home, she just chills on the bed.
Oh, it's gonna be easy for you to do table trading. Honestly, she was a superstar today with table trading. Like, I think you and me are gonna have the hardest time with the boys.
Well, he does great at home too. I'll sit there and watch TV. He goes in his crate and lays in there. I'll treat him every little while.
Really?
It's just these distractions, especially dogs and people that he loves, is like the utmost distraction. Just add a kid in here and then he would be
Oh, geez.
We'll release bunnies too.
Yeah.
Just all of your bunnies. We're just gonna cut them loose.
Honestly, he recalled out all my bunnies anyways.
He calls out the bunnies already?
Yeah, he called it, yeah, I can call him out. Unless he's standing there staring at them for like 5 minutes straight, then I can't, but.
Holy cow. Okay, well then we've got to, so for your homework, let's have you figure out a challenge for him to hold a hot zone. That's not as hard as the other dogs, but it's not one that he just gets. Like, so I don't know what kind of trigger you can do. Like if you do jumping jacks or if you have Cade run across the room going, like can he hold a stave when Cade does that? Like,
That was good.
I don't know, he doesn't really do that, so I have no idea.
well, maybe he should start.
I'm a very mellow person, so he doesn't do that.
Oh my gosh, well, maybe we'll have Alex come by and go blah, blah, blah. But actually no, you're working a lot of hours this week. Maybe you two can help each other with it then.
Yeah.
So when you do like a backyard visit, have one dog on the inside just for management, and then have one dog on hot zone, and one of you just do a cartwheel while the other dog is sitting in hot zone. So hand targets, opposition reflex, and hot zone. Lots of value on that this week. So, and I think that's everything. I think we've got to pack up and vacuum up.
Okay.